My name is Sam Goldstein. I'm a director of engineering at GitLab, and I'm here today to talk to you about feature change locks, or as we often refer to them, FCLs. I'm going to talk about what is an FCL. I'm going to answer some common questions that people tend to have about FCLs. And then I'm also going to go through how do you do an FCL? What is the actual steps? So starting with what is an FCL, feature change lock? Essentially, it's a sensing mechanism for the organization. When GitLab experiences a customer-facing incident that's high severity, so say Sev1 or Sev2, we enact an FCL on the features that were impacted. That feature change lock lasts 5 days, during which point the team members that are participating in that FCL stop deploying new functionality to production, and they focus on reliability work. So FCLs are really intended to help reinforce our culture of iteration by ensuring that we take the time to learn from these high severity incidents and share that knowledge with team members. So there's a lot of common questions that come up when we talk about FCLs. One of the first ones is, are FCLs a punishment? The answer to that question is no, they're not a punishment. They're a sensing mechanism and they're an opportunity to learn. They shouldn't challenge our blameless culture. In fact, that blameless culture is really foundational to this learning that we do in FCLs. And so they're not about blame, and they're not intended to be scoped only to the people who, quote unquote, caused a problem. Another question people often ask is, are they unusual? Is this something that I'm very unlikely to experience? And again, I think the answer there is no, although this is a new process. We haven't been doing it that long here at GitLab. If you look at the frequency and the teams that have been involved so far, they're actually going to be quite common. And that's okay, because they aren't a punishment. They're an opportunity for us to react positively when we encounter problems. And so if and when your team does participate in an FCL, you don't feel bad. You should feel good, because you're helping the whole organization get better and stronger. So who should participate in these FCLs? That's another thing that comes up frequently. Are they only for the people that caused a problem? Answer to that's no. We should be inclusive about who participates in an FCL and really scope that to anyone who can potentially help improve our understanding of the problem and how we react and learn and improve from that understanding. So they're not a punishment. They're not intended only for people that were directly involved. And usually so far they've involved the team that has caused a change that triggered the incident, as well as other teams whose functionality may have been impacted in the incident. So now let's shift to how to do an FCL. When you do participate in FCL, what does that actually mean? So step one is stop deploying to production. Remember, FCLs are a sensing mechanism, so take a moment, reflect, and understand what happened. Next step is to conduct a root cause analysis with the other FCL participants. Root cause analysis is really about digging down deeper to what are the underlying causes that created the conditions that allowed this problem to surface. And so that's an important step in understanding and learning in this process. Next step would be to develop an FCL work plan. This plan, it should describe the corrective actions and availability focused work that the team has identified to mitigate the root causes and improve availability overall. And that work plan it doesn't need to be always focused specifically on things related to this incident. There may be other things to focus on as well. And in general, the scope of it should be proportional to the impact of the incident. Another very important note, any work that is kicked off during this period should be completed. So it shouldn't be just started and then dropped after the 5-day FCL period is lifted. And then final step in the FCL is about performing an async retro on the FCL and the FCL process and sharing that through a GitLab issue. That feedback is super valuable. It's a new process. We're iterating and improving it. So each team that goes through one, we learn a lot. So that feedback is very valuable. So that's feature change locks. In summary, we covered what is a feature change lock, some common questions about them, and how to do them. You can read more about them and the engineering handbook page, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.